evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Williams Grove, home of tonight's NMTS Dirt Series. You wanted them back. They are back this week, ready for action. We got your fan favorites. Everybody are here. Everybody is here. We hope you guys are ready. We've got everybody. We got Brian Hacker, David Sutton, Russell Brown, Jared Beasley, Tyler Justice, Dustin Levernite, Dustin Schwingle, Jamie Phillips, Michael Redding, Frank Gonzalez, Jesse Mason, Donald Depew, Corey Walters, Laurel Haven, Ike Raymond Jr., and Trevor Harmon in here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have a good time tonight. There have been some changes to the way the series is ran from what you have seen recently. So there'll be a little bit of a different feel to it tonight. Tonight, instead of going straight from a qualifying straight into heat races, we are actually going to change the way they qualify tonight. They'll go out in two separate groups. They'll go out in Group A and Group B. Those times are set by practice. So the fastest guys. So basically, if you think about it, if you're the fastest guy in qualifying, you're Group A. If you're the second fastest, you're Group B. Third, Group A. Fourth, Group B. So on and so forth down the line. Those groups will go out and set qualifying times. After they set their qualifying times, they'll restack them and get ready for the heat races. Once the heat races are ran tonight, folks, we'll then pull the heat race winners, and the heat race winner will decide the invert tonight via the wheel. So get ready to watch the wheel. Hopefully everybody's having a good time tonight. Hope to see Laurel Haven's crowd out there as usual in the chat like we usually see every night. Havens Nation, if you're in the chat, let us know that you're out there that we can recognize you. At the same time, if you have another favorite driver, let us know who your favorite driver is so that we can take time to interview those drivers for you. Right now, I'm up here in the booth by myself. Normally I'm joined by Bradley Wilson, but Bradley is stuck in traffic outside because my God, the line to get into this track tonight is huge. He's here at Williams Grove, love their dirt racing, and they love their limited late models. For those of y'all that don't know the history of Williams Grove is home of the Pennsylvania Posse. Those that follow dirt racing, especially outlaw sprint cars, the Pennsylvania Posse is a group of drivers from Pennsylvania that whenever the World of Outlaws show up, they show up and put a beat down on the World of Outlaws. So we'll see if they can do the same thing tonight. Right now, it looks like the admins have called all the drivers pit road for the drivers meeting. So there's not going to be a lot of action on the track right now. But like I said, here in a minute, we will switch over to qualifying. Group A will go out and qualify, then Group B will go out and qualify. Becky Campbell Elliott, Havens Nation checking in. Kenny Yance, go Michael Redding. We got some people watching out there right now. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in tonight so far. We appreciate each and every one of you here at Backwards Hat Productions. While we have a little bit of break here, we'll take some time to thank some of our sponsors. SimSpec PC Towers. If you need and look for a good quality game PC, look up SimSpec PC Towers. Also, we have Diecast Fans. Diecast Fans is where you can go and pre-order your favorite diecast for your dad, your husband, your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, or your mom if they're a big diecast fan. And also they have a section on there for those that follow dirt. Thompson Seed and Feed out of Oklahoma is a proud sponsor, along with Ram Designs. I'd like to say thank you to everyone there at Ram Designs for their sponsorship, and 5-Star Drafting. Havens Nation is showing up large and in charge in the chat right now. So everything is good there, looking good. Apologize for the technical thing there on the screen, folks. Sorry about clicked on the wrong button there.
Somebody in that sound booth's gonna get fired, huh, Rob?
Yeah, highly likely.
Highly likely.
So you finally beat the traffic.
Finally beat the traffic here at the historic Williams Grove Speedway, Pennsylvania. Yeah, a little bit of traffic getting in this place tonight, man. These fans are amped up, ready to go to see the NMNTS Dirt Night roll into town course, this track needs no introduction. Williams Grove has hosted, host a slew of just prestigious events, and it has one of the most famous groups that are weekly drivers here, known as the Pennsylvania Posse. So, but this is adjacent to an amusement park that was established by the Williams family in the 1850s.
That I did not know.
Now, this track has an amusement park that was adjacent to it that was built in the 1850s. A little track history there for you. So, something to look at there, how long this place has been around.
Heck yeah. I don't know about you, Bradley. I'm sitting here looking at the schemes as I go through, looking down on the field as I sit there on the infield, going through the driver's meeting. And maybe I'm biased. Could be biased. Maybe it's because it has our logo on it. But how about Laurel Haven's Hot Rod tonight? It's got backwards hat production, NMTS Dirt Late Model Series on it. All kind of sponsors. Let's see what else he's got on this car.
That is a relatively new scheme for Laurel. We definitely appreciate the repping of the backwards hat. He's also, as you see, going to have one of our tech cams tonight, so you're going to get to see the left front suspension, the rear end on that car working out. Got one of our onboard cams, as well as one looking off the roof. So definitely got Laurel Havens covered with cams tonight. You see some of the sponsors there.
WR1, it looks like, is a sponsor of his.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to ask him what WR1 is. He's got Joe Sullivan's direct drive system, Quartermasters, Textron, Sears. Can't go wrong with a Sears Craftsman tool. I think they're getting ready to roll out Group A here in a minute.
I believe so.
Right. Looks like Group A is going to be the 11 of Brian Hacker, the 5 of Russell Brown Jr., the 10 of Tyler Justice, the 7 of Dustin Schwegel, the 2 of Michael Redding, the 80 of Donald Depew, the 12 of Corey Walters, the 00 of Ike Raymond, and the 55 of Michael Crockett.
Alright, a lot of fast cars as they start to time in. Get a look at Ike Raymond Jr., the driver out of Arkansas on his first night with the tour. Also get a look at one of the fan favorites coming in tonight, Brian Hacker out of Illinois. Brian has been on a tear here recently.
Becky out in the chat just informed me that WR1 is Wheeler Racing.
There you go. Yeah, making some of the slickest simulators around. Of course, some people may not know, but Chad Wheeler has made many appearances with the US MTS Modified Series based out of Muskogee, Oklahoma. Wheeler Metals is the home base for the WR1 simulators, so definitely top of the line simulators. If you're looking for maybe that new rig, go check out Chad Wheeler there.
May have to go check out Chad Wheeler and see if I get me a sim rig. I'm in need of a new one.
Telling you what, he will facilitate your needs. Looks like there is 3 minutes of practice left, as that's what you're seeing now. I want to show you this cool little camera we've got set up right here. Right here on the walkway, fans. It is a little loud as you're catching all the action from Williams Grove. Look at Dustin Schwegel, last week's winner in that number 7 car out of the Midwest region. Robbie, I don't know about you, but there's one troublesome part on this track that always worries me every time I race here, and it's right down there, looking down the backstretch at the gate opening where, vehicles come in and out to the pits. Definitely.
Yeah, gate opening definitely a scary thing to see at any racetrack. But I'll be honest with you, I've watched so many old sprint car races from this track. That bridge is what scares me. Whew, man, you get airborne and get a hold of that bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, if you got airborne and got a hold of that bridge, it'd be a bad deal. Definitely, to say the least. You see Frank Gonzalez and Dustin Swigel continue to turn some laps together. Already a nice little cushion built up around the top of this place. I would definitely look for it to play a factor in some of the moves that are made here.
Yeah,
you notice Jesse Mason?
Man, I went out.
Oh, sorry about that. Did you notice Jesse Mason's ditched the old Miller Lite scheme for the Mopar scheme on that 17 car? Got some Mopar power under the hood tonight.
Jesse ran with us last year in the NMTS Dirt Series, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, actually last year he was a Buffalo Wild Wing man.
Last year he did run the old B-Dubs car, and tonight he has traded that in, I guess, for some Mopar power.
Heck yeah, gotta have some Mopar power, man. Tell you, there's not many that still run the Mopar engines out here, but those that do, they tend to have pretty good luck with it.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, one of the most notable names that come to mind when you talk about guys who have ran that Mopar scheme in the back or in the past, you know, one of the names that come to mind is Steve Francis. Ran Mopar forever on on the famed number 15 car.
This is true. This is true. Steve Francis. I tell you though, man, I went out earlier today and made a couple laps myself around this track, and I can't do it. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
This place,
I couldn't figure out how to keep the momentum up.
This place definitely takes a lot of finesse to get around. It's one of those tracks that there's a fine line of how to run it. I have yet to master it myself, as a matter of fact. I don't think anybody ever masters this place, unless you are probably a member of the posse.
Yeah, the posse is definitely really good at this track. I would never be considered for admission.
Yeah, that makes two of us, Robbie. That makes two of us. As you get a look now,
this is going to be a different feel tonight.
Be a little different. Yes, it will indeed. As you get a look at the cars starting to line up in their respected qualifying groups, we said Brian Hacker is going to be out in Group 1, one of the guys to watch.
Tell you what also is unique about this track, Bradley. I don't know if a lot of people pay attention to it or not, but pit road is not as open as you would think it would be. You know, this being one of the older tracks, it still has telephone poles in the middle of pit road.
Yes, it does.
You gotta watch out for those.
They never did take the telephone poles down, I guess. This track is is just oozes prestige anyways, so
Big difference between this track and the track last week, aside from the fact that last week, you had not better banking, but more banking there than you have this week. The other thing is the straightaways. The straightaways are narrow at this place. It's almost like driving down a 2-lane highway almost.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. That gate opening there, it's definitely going to play dividends with the narrow track, and if cars get side by side going down that back straightaway, it's very easy to get a hold of the gate opening. So
yeah, you get a hold of the gate opening, it'll end your night for sure. But it's nothing like good old fashioned dirt racing.
No, and I'm happy to be back Wednesday night on the dirt. Here we go. We're going to unleash Group A right now for a little bit of qualifying. Robbie, I know you spoke with Redding. This is a new qualifying form that they've got. How long do they have again?
I want to say they have a minute and a half.
That's what I thought.
Or not 3 minutes. Minute and a half to 3 minutes, I think. But I want to say it's a minute and a half is what each driver has to put down a lap. So you're not tied to the whole only 2 laps, you know.
Brian Hacker going to come around 3 and 4 to complete lap number 1. As you see the 5 car joining out on the track with him. Hacker's first lap going to be quick time of the night. With a 21.853. You see the number 5 car, Russell Brown Jr. out of Georgia. He's going to come around to take the green flag on this lap. Hacker coming by. Hacker's second lap is a little quicker with a 21.789.
I just heard the admins come across. They're giving them a minute 10.
Russell Brown
Jr. Get their warm-up lap.
Going to put down his first time lap of the night. That is quick time with a 21.665.
I tell you, Georgia boys know how to play in the car. I told y'all that
last week. And just like that,
want to listen to me.
Hacker back to the top of the board with a 21.640.
I'm going to quit talking junk.
We'll see if Brown can match it again. Not this time, as Hacker's going to continue to hold quick time. Russell Brown going to go upstairs, work the cushion through 3 and 4, get that good run off. You'll see this track already starting to take a lot of rubber in the corners. Now he's going to work the bottom.
No improvement.
No improvement. Brian Hacker, still your fast time on the night, 21.640. Russell Brown Jr. maybe trying to find something, work some different lines as he takes it upstairs on the cushion again on the loud pedal. Down the back straightaway, this time Russell Brown Jr.
Yeah.
Looks like time has expired, folks. We mentioned these are time sessions. Time qualifying runs here in the group. Next driver out on the track, last week's winner, found big pay dirt in Eldora. That is the number 7 out of the Midwest region, Dustin Swingle.
Let's see what Dustin's got for him tonight. Hey, Dustin's been feast or famine here lately. Last week was a big feast, though.
Last week was a big feast. Out on the track with him, the number 80, Donald Depew out of Indiana. And Ike Raymond Jr. in the 00. Swingle first time around was a second quickest lap. Swingle now at third on the board with a 21.897.
I tell you, I think the track's actually getting a little bit slower. I think Hacker and Brown may have had the advantage of going out when they did.
Oh, as you see Donald Depew just about get the opening out of turn 2. Robbie, this is another one of those tracks that has the old school guardrails, no concrete walls we talked about. You know, we talked about a couple weeks ago when we were at Knoxville how these guardrails will just simply eat up a car if you get into them.
Oh, yeah, it'll open it like a can, man. I tell you, it'll split a car wide open. You got to be careful with these guardrails. You know, for a lot of tracks, you keep the guardrails because it's cheaper to replace that guardrail, you know, than it is to fix a concrete wall if they tear it up. But, you know, either way, both of them hurt.
Both of them hurt indeed. As you get a look at Ike Raymond Jr. right now, the driver out of the Mid-South region out of Arkansas. Fourth quickest on the board with a 22.013. Dustin Swingle still sets third with a 21.789. Last driver in the timed in right now on the track is Donald Depew with a 22.443.
Yes, we gonna give him a run for it, but it just looks like the track's starting to lose that grip, starting to lose that speed.
You know, we talked about how this is a newer form of qualifying. I've got to imagine that times will probably just get slower. So going out in that first track, being one of them first cars to get to see this track in qualifying is definitely going to pay dividends.
Yeah, I think it really is going to be advantageous to be the very first car out. I think that's also, moving forward, I think for these guys, they're going to realize real fast it's going to pay to put that quick lap down in practice. That way you can be the first guy out. Tyler Justice is out on the track now.
Tyler Justice and the evil outlaw himself, Michael Redding, out there. Redding going to get his first look at the track with Tyler Justice and also the 55 car of Michael Crockett out of Ohio. We get a look at Tyler Justice out of Alabama. Will anybody be able to do anything with Brian Hacker right now? Tyler Justice giving it his best shot with a fourth fastest time of a 21.935.
Pretty impressive, honestly, for the speeds that you've seen where the track's falling off. It's pretty impressive that he got to a 21.9. Redding with a 22.030.
I was just fixing to say Michael Redding 6 right now with a 22.031. I tell you what, Redding once again housing one of our tech cams along with some onboards you'll see. Good look at that rear end working up on the bars. Good look at the front end, the left front on the number 2 Evil Outlaw Motorsports machine. See Redding work that wheel back and forth.
And that Tyler actually went faster that last lap, but he didn't improve any position. He picked his speed up though to a 21.857.
Just like that, qualifying over for these 3 drivers. 3 more going to hit the track. As we mentioned, Michael Redding debuting a brand new race format tonight for the drivers of the NMNTS Dirt Series. Go check, we'll be able to check out some heat races as usual. We've also got a little special intermission treat for you fans, so something I'm very excited about that, Redding got with me, said, hey, what do you think? I said, let's try it out. Right now you've got Corey Walters out of the Northwest region on the track, driver of the number 12 Haviland Texaco car.
Let's see who all's left in the group that has to go.
Walters drives it in way deep through 1 and 2.
I think Corey is the last car in group.
Gonna slide the cushion through 3 and 4. Walters' first recorded time coming up shortly. 8th quickest on the board with a 22.430 for the driver out of the Northwest region.
Sail it off in there, Corey.
He sailed it off in there indeed.
All right. Looking at the chat, I see that we got like 21, 22 people following the Facebook stream right now. Those of y'all in the Facebook stream, especially those of y'all that are part of Havens Nation, let's play a little game here. Who can guess what Laurel's time's going to be?
Who?
Closest one to it. Closest one to it wins the accolade that they were closest.
They win the bragging right that they were close enough to guess his time, huh?
Yep.
Well, way to dig deep in the prize bucket for that one. As Robbie,
actually, you know what? I'll do this for you.
Uh-oh, here we go.
If you can come closest to the time that Laurel Havens is going to put up here in a minute, whoever the closest one is, will get a second entry into the backwards hat giveaway when we hit 200 likes on our page.
Man, look at that. There you go. Heck of a deal there. As you see the next group getting ready to go out, Robbie mentioned our Facebook stream. You can now also catch all the action, the Backwards Hat production action, live on our Facebook, or our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. We are multi-streaming to multi-different platforms of social media. Go check us out on YouTube. Drop us a like, subscribe to it at Backwards Hat Productions TV. As you look now at this man who needs no introduction, David Sutton won a few weeks ago out of the Northwest region. He is accompanied on track by Jared Beasley.
All right, so far we got 3 guesses in for when Laurel goes out.
David Sutton going to come around and complete his first lap this time. 5th fastest on the board with a 21.939. Jared Beasley also completes his first lap, 4th quickest on the board, 21.818. And Dustin Levernight with a 10th fastest time of a 22.145.
That's an impressive lap Beasley just put down.
You see Jared Beasley as he goes into 1 and 2. Beasley working the bottom, kind of the rubbered up part of the racetrack right now.
All right, we got 4 guesses out there. Might want to hurry and get your picks in before Laurel goes out. Once
David Sutton goes around in turn 1. Dustin Levernight and Beasley continue on. Beasley right now 4th fastest on the board with a 21.800. Dustin Levernight going to be 9th quickest or 8th quickest on your board now with a 21.955. And just like that, time is up for those 3 drivers. Next out on the track, you're going to see the driver out of the Plains region. That is Frank Gonzalez. He will be accompanied with the number 9 of Jamie Phillips out of Georgia. And also the number 17, we mentioned a brand new wrap on that car tonight, Mopar powered machine, Jesse Mason. As we focus in on Phillips right now, coming around to complete his first time lap. First lap for this driver is going to be 11th quickest with a 21.210.
Twelfth fastest for Jesse Mason at a 22.094.
Yeah, Jamie Phillips going to come in 13th fastest with a 21.210. I definitely think that Brian Hacker may be safe. I know I'm going out on a limb with saying that and probably drew some enemies out of the Havens Nation, but I feel like with this new qualifying format, I don't know, Robbie. I feel like with this new qualifying format that we're seeing unveiled here tonight, to be fat, to set a pole time, you've almost got to be one of the first couple tracks out, because as you can see, this track's starting to dry out, rubber up around the bottom. There is a cushion forming, but the bottom's the fastest way around the racetrack in theory.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I'm just playing devil's advocate because the chat out there is saying that Laurel's finna run a 21.3 and a 21.4.
Man, oh man! Actually, well,
somebody says he's going to shatter it with a 20.5.
Well, here you go, Havens Nation, Laurel Havens in that number 47 car, out of the Plains region, out on the track right now. Going to see him work the cushion through 3 and 4. Green flag in the air. Also got Trevor Harmon out there in the 29 out of the Western region.
Daniel says that he's watching on our YouTube stream. I need to grab me another screen so I can pull up the YouTube stream at the same time.
Daniel Hauser checking in with Go Redding. Laurel Havens First time, 15th quickest with a 22.319. Trevor Harmon sits 17th on the board. Trevor Harmon jumps to 13th on the board with a 22.071. Harmon Motorsports. As you get a look at Laurel Havens now, we're going to go back on board.
22-2.
Go back on board with our tech cam. You see Laurel working the wheel as he goes down the backstretch right here into 3 and 4. Get a look at that car up on the bars down through the front stretch. Start finish line. Still 15th on the board right now with a 22.200. And that will end the time for these two drivers. Trevor Harmon times in 12th quickest on the board with a 22.021.
Well, I'll go ahead and say this right now. Sue Campbell, congratulations. You were the closest to it, and you will get another entry into the drawing when we hit 200 likes on our Facebook page. So if you haven't already liked our page over on the Facebook side, go ahead and hit a like on there. Way we can get 200 and do our giveaway.
As you see Brian Hacker coming around to the front stretch, we're going to get a word with our quick time winner of the night. Robbie, why don't you go ahead and see if you can establish radio contact with that driver?
Let's see if we can get Brian Hacker here. Brian Hacker, this is Robbie Buckner and the Backwards Hat production crew. Man, how you doing tonight?
Doing pretty well now. How about you guys?
Oh, man, we wish we were doing as good as you. Second time, fastest in your group, fastest overall. Tell us how the track felt to you tonight, bud.
Well, when we first started practice, there was quite a bit of grip, quite a bit of tackiness down on the low side, which is the fastest way around. But after practice and beginning of qualifying, it really went away. So it's pretty slick. I'm not sure which is going to be the fastest way around. I think it's going to be pretty tough to pass in the heats.
I hear you. Let me ask you this. New qualifying format tonight. Changed the way we normally do qualifying here in the NMTS Dirt Series. Do you think it's going to be more advantageous each week to go out and set quick time in practice so you can be one of the first guys on the track?
Now that I've seen how the track has progressed through qualifying tonight, then yeah, absolutely. I'm going to try to go out there and lay down a fast time in practice so I can be one of the first to hit the track and qualify.
I hear you, man. Bradley, you have any questions for Mr. Hacker here?
Not so much questions, but Brian Hacker, it is time to spin the wheel, the invert wheel, for your heat race invert. Something new we're going to be doing here. Give me 1 second as we get it worked out here. You see the wheel, if you're watching on social media right now, you see that wheel in the top right-hand corner right above Mr. Hacker's car. That is your invert wheel. Brian, why don't you go ahead and give that thing a spin for us?
All right.
Mr. Redding, we are going to invert 2 drivers out of the heat race tonight. Your invert number is 2. Well, we want to thank you. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, after spinning the wheel, Brian, you like that invert number?
The smaller the better.
Smaller the better. I hear you, brother.
Well, we definitely had 2 for a 6. You come up lucky and drew the 2, so good luck continuing on. Congratulations with that quick time. Once again, a blistering lap of a 21.640. So real quick before we let you go, anybody you want to thank so far, give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd love to give a shout out to my teammate Russell Brown Jr., who actually qualified second. I kind of took that one away from him. I thought he was going to pull it out, but shout out to him. He's a dirt racer in real life. He's really taught me how to get around these tracks. So pretty cool to have him here running with me and running 1-2. So big shout out to him and the rest of my teammates.
Good deal. As we'll look for you to make big waves in heat racing. maybe capture that win here at the historic Williams Grove Speedway.
Man, I sure hope so.
All right, once again, that was your quick time driver of the night, Brian Hacker out of Illinois. Time once again of a 21.640. Robbie, I don't even think I think me and Redding had worked out the details and got an invert wheel installed without you even knowing it. How'd you feel about that new addition there?
I like it, man. It has a new flair to it. Instead of coming in knowing that X amount of drivers are going to be inverted each week, you got a chance now to really toss it up. I mean, if you got 2, 4, and 6, like Hacker said there, man, you want a low number. That way, if they only invert 2, I mean, you only go from first to second, so it's not that bad of a deal.
And lower number, the better. Once again, as we get ready for heat racing, we want to give a special shout out to our partners here at Backwards Hat Productions. 5-Star Drafting, our plans outrank theirs. Check them out in the Florida area the next time you're maybe looking to get plans drawn up on that new home or business, or just anything in between, any structure that you may have a dream for. They can facilitate your needs. NASCAR Diecast fans, you can check them out on Facebook and Twitter for all of the latest release dates, promo codes, everything you may need in the diecast world. Like Robbie said a couple weeks ago, with Father's Day just around the corner, maybe get Dad that special diecast he's been looking for. We also want to give a shout out to
some pretty cool diecasts.
They do indeed. We also want to give a shout out to SimSpec PCs, longtime friends of Backwards Hat Productions. You mentioned the diecast. They work closely with Plan B Sales. As I've spoke with Jared Rashawn over there at NASCAR Diecast, they work closely with Plan B Sales, and Plan B Sales actually, I got on the website the other day, was cruising around looking at all the cool diecast. If you're strictly a dirt fan, you are in luck because they have a pretty wide range of dirt diecast, so you can go check them out.
Yeah, I tell you what's really cool about them. If you're like me, you grew up with a bunch of diecasts and you collected all the diecasts of your favorite drivers. You're always like, man, it'd be cool to have a car where, with that one time where Dale flipped on the backstretch and it rolled over on his roof and then they flipped it back over and he drove off on it. Man, it'd be cool to have a diecast like that. Well, they do diecasts like that now. So you can actually order diecasts of a winning victory car with the donuts on the side or a bad wreck, and it'll have the damage on the car. So it's pretty cool what they can actually do with diecast now. So, and they sell them just about any way now.
Oh yeah, you can get them any which way. You can get a wreck version, you can get the winning version with the confetti and all that good stuff on it. Get some platinum versions, some gold versions, a lot of wide range for my favorite ones I think here lately that I've seen out diecast wise has definitely got to be the dirt late model diecast that are the race version that's got got all the dirt on the side of it and looks like it's been scuffed up a little bit and really put through the ringer.
Yeah, those are always fun to look at, fun to have in your collection. You're never too old to have a diecast, so you're out there going, I've outgrown my diecast. No, you haven't. Get you another diecast. Get back into it.
No, you haven't. Well, heat number 1 out on the track right now. You're getting a look at the number 11 car. We talked to him, quick time of the night. Brian Hacker in the Chevy Camaro, Our Insurance Options late model, driver out of Illinois. As they're going to stop right here on the backstretch, get your lineup set one more time before we go racing.
Yeah.
Looks like starting to Hackers outside, I believe, will be the 5 car. They're looking that way.
Let's see. The lineup I was given from the admins was on the pole will be the 10 car of Tyler Justice.
Okay, well I had it all wrong anyway.
Will be the 7 of Dustin Schwingle.
I didn't take into consideration. So here we go. Tyler Justice on your pole, the driver out of Alabama in the number 10 car. To his outside, Dustin Swingle in that number 7 last week's winner, Red Cedar Custom Cabinetry.
Yeah, starting in the second row on the inside, be your quick time qualifier tonight, be Brian Hacker. And on his outside would be the number 5, Russell Brown Jr., the man from Georgia.
1 row back, making his first start with the NMNTS Dirt Series. That's where you're going to find the 00 out of Arkansas, Ike Raymond Jr. To his outside, out of Batesville, Arkansas, that's number 2, the Evil Outlaw, Michael Redding.
Next row back on the inside is going to be the 55 of Michael Crockett. And to his outside will be the 12 of Corey Walters.
There you go. As they get them lined up one last time, you get a good look at this field.
Shotgun on the field will be the number 80 of Donald Depew.
Donald Depew getting out on the track right now in that number 80 car. You see him there. Well, looks like the field is set. We're ready to go heat racing.
I just realized something.
What's that?
I don't know if you realize this, and maybe the chat can help me out here. But aren't we missing one part of the Havens Nation tonight?
We are. We're missing a Havens Nation driver. Tyler Justice going to bring the field around, pace around one more time. Drivers pulling those belt tights, ready to get down to business. Heat race number 1 coming at you next time by. You see the field come out of turn 2 via our walkway cam. Like I said, folks, it is a little loud.
Here we go.
Green flag in the air. Heat race 1 is underway. Tyler Justice going to work the bottom through 1 and 2. Swingle hanging with him on the outside. I believe that outside's probably where you're going to want to be, at least where the cushion's at. Swingle kind of float up high.
Run. Tyler's battling back on the inside, though. He ain't going to let him go without a fight.
On board now with Michael Redding, the Evil Outlaw, as he tries to mark his way for the 4th position.
Tyler hugging the bottom, Swingle still running the higher line.
Side by side almost for the lead. We pull up the tachometer on the number 7 car, Dustin Swingle. Gonna see it right about 6,600 RPMs. Don't look now. Up to second. Here comes Hacker. Hacker to the outside, going to work the cushion through 1 and 2, try to work his way into the point. Remember, folks, these heat race positions are 4 points.
Hacker will admit him off the corner. I believe he's going to clear him this time as they go down the front stretch into turn 1. And Brown now is looking for second place on the outside of Swingle.
Here we go. Swingle trying to fight back on the bottom. Now going to lose another spot to the number 5 car. That is the driver out of Georgia, Russell Brown Jr. Going to fight back on the bottom.
Fighting hard.
Russell Brown and that Genesis Racing Shocks number 5 out of Georgia. Tyler Justice holding steady right now in the 4th position.
Weagle drives it off in there, gets to the quarter on Brown, but isn't able to do anything with it.
Brian Hacker wasting no time working his way to the front.
Yeah, Hacker's starting to set sail.
Hacker is setting sail indeed. Opens her up to a few tenths for this time by.
Yeah, I tell you right now, it looks like the fast line is definitely up above that, up above the black stuff. I mean,
Yeah, it
right now
looks
the
like
bottom is locked in, and there's just no grip down there.
the bottom is locked down. Everybody fighting for a little moisture around that cushion. I tell you, that cushion kind of acts as a thin line between fast and wrecked. As you get up above that cushion, it's nothing but loose dirt and marbles, and you could be in the wall in a hurry.
Yeah. Definitely don't want to get too aggressive with the cushion, but you definitely want to get that right rear on there. I tell you, what's interesting, if you look at the track from our blimp, you can see how the entry to the corner is a lot shallower than the exit of the corner. As they go through the corner, you can see they're widening out the groove as they exit off the corners.
Yeah, I was noticing that cars drifting up to the walls. You see Michael Redding still trying to find a way around Tyler Justice. Up front, though, it is all Brian Hacker. There it is, folks. Your winner, heat race number 1. He set the quick time of the night. Now going to be heat number 1 winner, Brian Hacker out of Illinois. Second place will be the 5 car of Russell Brown Jr. out of Georgia. Third, Dustin Swingle. Fourth, Tyler Justice. Fifth, the driver out of Batesville, Arkansas, Michael Redding. Sixth will be Ike Raymond Jr., fellow Arkansas driver. Seventh will be Corey Walters in that Haviland Texaco, number 12, followed up by the 55 of Michael Crockett.
Yeah, rough heat race there for Mr. Crockett, but he'll rebound. He'll get a good run in the main tonight. But looking out on the chat, found out that the second half of Havens Nation is unfortunately working tonight, and we all know that feeling. Unfortunately, we must pay the bills.
Know that feeling all too well. As you get a look on pit lane, cars starting to get lined up for heat race number 2. Well, Robbie, how's the front row of heat race number 2 going to look?
On the front row will be the 17 of Jesse Mason. To his outside will be the 91 of Dustin Levernight. Inside of row number 2 will be the 11 of, or sorry, not the 11, the 114 of Jared Beasley. And on his outside is going to be the 97 of David Sutton. Next row back will be the 24 of Frank Gonzalez, with the 9 of Jamie Phillips on his outside. And last row will be the 29 of Trevor Harmon, with the 47 of Laurel Havens to his outside.
Shotgun on the field. I wouldn't expect him to stay there long, as you get a good look at that number 47 Backwards Hat Productions car, driver out of the Plains region.
Yeah, I don't expect Laurel to stay back there long. You know, last week he had a pretty rough qualifying outing, but he definitely worked his way up through the field. Unfortunately, got caught up in some incidents. But Laurel's one of those guys that, you know, just watching what I've seen, you know, it seems like the more the track gets locked down, the better he gets at finding that extra little bit of moisture no one else can find.
Well, Robbie, who are we taking?
Oh, man. I'm going to go, just because it's a 10-lap heat race and there's not a lot of time, give me Dustin Levernight on that outside of the front row. He's in the prime position going into turn 1.
You stole my pick. You stole my pick. Well, I tell you what. I'm going to go with David Sutton. Won a couple weeks ago. Definitely been on a hot streak here. I feel like the outside, getting that outside starting spot's probably going to be prime. Almost like getting a whole shot in motocross.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. The question is, though, can Jesse get a big enough jump so that he can clear him before they get down to turn 1, so Jesse can actually move up?
You look from the flag stand, cars in 3 and 4. Jesse Mason on the loud pedal. Heat race number 2 is underway. Jesse Mason gets a good jump and actually clears Lever Knight. Oh, contact. That's going to stack the whole front of the field up.
Yellow flag is out. We're not even going to complete a lap here, so I believe we should get a complete restart. They should restack them the same way they started.
See if we can't go back and find that incident.
Who's ready for another opportunity to have their name added for a second time to our drawing?
Looks like Lever Knight into the back of the 17 car, going to bring out that caution. We go on board with Jesse Mason this time as he works down, coming down the backstretch to restart heat race number 2. That will be a complete restart.
Oh man alive.
Actually going to go on board with Mason this time as he works through 3 and 4, getting a look out towards the right front of that number 17 Mopar car, driver out of Michigan. Green flag in the air. Heat race number 2. Let's try it again.
Jesse with another good start.
Mason gets another good start. Lever Knight this time going to give him a little room. Beasley going to work the bottom, try to take advantage of that.
Yeah, Lever Knight looked like he kind of tiptoed it down into turn 1 that time to ensure he didn't get into him.
Yeah,
he's going after him as they go down into 3.
Here we go. David Sutton going to make a move on Beasley this time.
Oh, Beasley to the outside of Sutton or Lever Knight. They made slight contact going down the straightaway as they go through 1 and 2. Looks like Beasley's going to have the advantage.
Oh, contact in the back. Everybody keeps going straight. I believe that was Laurel Havens in the 47. As you see Sutton give a door check to Lever Knight, that's going to allow Jamie Phillips up in a few spots. These guys are definitely not playing nice as heat race number 2 continues on. Looks like Jesse Mason may be the only driver really, I was going to say safe, but here comes Beasley, fires it off to the bottom. Slide job on the number 17 is going to wad the field up behind him. As we're going to go back and take a look at this replay from Jesse Mason's onboard camera.
Beasley with the nasty slider going into 3.
We'll back it up one more time, folks. If you've ever heard the term slider and wondered what it means, we are getting ready to show you on board with Jesse Mason. You see everything clear here. Just going to set the corner up, and then all of a sudden here comes Beasley. Beasley throws the slider, gets her a bit out of shape there. Tough break for Jesse Mason. Looked like he was going to be off to a hot start there.
Tell you the two biggest losers on this is going to be the 97 and the 17.
A big winner is going to be Frank Gonzalez in the 24s. He's up to second now, the driver out of the Plains region. We get set to go back green. Looks like we'll go back green next time by. Frank Gonzalez. Jared Beasley going to elect to take the high side here. No surprise, high side looks to be what's been working most of the night.
Yeah, definitely high side is the dominant lane right now. But it's going to be interesting once we roll over to the actual feature. If I'm not mistaken, I heard Michael say they were going to bring out the trucks and kind of work the track just a little bit, try and put a little extra grip back down the bottom.
Maybe break out the grader and the sheep's foot, get some moisture in this racetrack.
So it looks like what they've done on this restart is all the guys that would, so first started outside, second inside, third outside, fourth inside, fifth outside, sixth inside.
Green flag in the air. Jared Beasley on the loud pedal. Heat number 2 back to life.
Don't look now, but Laurel Havens is up to third.
Laurel Havens to third. Havens Nation. Get a good look from the onboard of Laurel Havens as he tries to work on Dustin Levernight. Also going to look off the back. Joel Sullivan direct drive system on the spoiler. See everybody fighting for a little real estate right there.
Yeah, right now I tell you the battle really is for that 5th position between the 24 of Gonzalez and the 9. They battle it out.
Everybody's starting to single file out now as we've seen this track's rather locked down. David Sutton's going to try to start working on Laurel Havens here. You see Sutton missing the nose and one of the elephant ears on the right front of that late model.
5 to go.
5 laps to go. Dustin Levernight continues to give chase to Jared Beasley.
Tell you right now, Beasley looks like he's in complete command of this heat race. It looks like he's figured out that high line. He's able to hold it and keep his RPMs up. He's not gaining any ground, but at the same time, he's not losing any.
Yeah, Beasley definitely able to keep the momentum up right now. As you take a look at Levernight, still giving chase. Laurel Havens running third. David Sutton fourth, as they all really using the cushion. You see that line starting to widen out towards the wall more and more as the laps wind on.
Yeah, it's crazy how wide they are now off the corner. I mean, they're just about in the middle of 2 and the middle of 4. They're just about all the way out to the wall now.
As we go on board with Dustin Levernight. Oh, Beasley and Levernight both get the wall off of turn number 4. We'll give you just a look at the cushion and how the line has moved up. You see them, see not a whole lot of loose dirt as that groove has widened out substantially in 3 and 4. Beasley continues to lead.
White flag is out, but yeah, right about the center apex of 3 and 4 is pretty much they're up on the wall at that point.
White flag in the air. Jared Beasley trying to hold on.
Levernight's going to give him a chance. Oh, not quite.
Levernight not going to quite to get there. As you see the battle for third. David Sutton going to steal third from Laurel Havens right there at the line.
Oh, it looks like Laurel got a little bit out of shape right there in 4. Lost his momentum and allowed the 97 to get around him on the outside. Heartbreak there for Laurel.
Jared Beasley going to pick up heat race number 2 win. Dustin Levernight finishes second. David Sutton third. 4th place will be Jamie Brown in that 9 car. 5th, Frank Gonzalez in the 24. 6th will be Trevor Harmon in that number 29.
Actually, Laurel will come home 4th.
That's
Jamie
right.
Phillips 5th.
There you
Gonzalez 6th. I think Laurel was a little disappointed in himself and went ahead and pulled it in.
Nothing to be ashamed of there. Flipped away from him coming out of turn 4. Definitely a valiant effort given for the Havens Nation driver. Man, Robbie, we get a look high in the sky from the Backwards Hat Productions blimp. You can really see the line in the track.
Yeah, I tell you, man, that line, especially if you look at 3 and 4, right there, about right at the center apex of 3 and 4 is when you see the transition there, where it's pretty much gone all the way up to the wall. You know, at this rate, you know, if the groove widens out anymore, these guys are going to be out in the parking lot by the time they come off of 4.
Yes, sir. Well, as Brian Hacker continues just to pace around here, I believe they're going to pull around to the front stretch so we can get an interview with heat race number 1 winner.
I think they may actually be letting them do some hot laps.
Yeah, definitely so. I thought for a second there we were gonna get some interviews, but looks like Redding has turned them loose to run a few laps on this track.
Tell you what, let's do this. I don't think we've done this yet so far this year. I don't think, have we interviewed Laurel Havens before?
You know, I'm not really sure. I want to say we have. Havens Nation such a big following. If we have not, I say now's just about as good a time as any.
Okay. All right, let's see if you can pull him up there, Bradley.
All right, give me just 1 second. Let me see if I can dial up that radio for Laurel Havens. Try to get some things situated here on our radio communications box. All right, Robbie, I have made contact with him. Go ahead. I'll let you go ahead and take it away.
Laurel Havens, Robbie Buckner and the Backwards Hat production crew. Man, how you doing tonight?
Doing good, Robbie. How are you doing?
Man, we're doing good. I'm telling you, when it comes to Wednesday night NMTS Dirt, there is not a more passionate fan base than the one you have following you, boss man. Every night that we do a broadcast of the NMTS Dirt Series, there's at least 7, 8, 9 people out there just telling us that you're the man.
Well, they obviously have more faith in me than I do. I really appreciate it. Pretty good group.
Yeah, I tell you, man. Looked like you were going to come home third there in your heat race, and then a little slip up off of 4. Is that what got you there?
I really struggle with this track. I try to race here a lot, and I really struggle in the corners. I slow down and try to get in. I still have problems, but yeah, I slipped up and he got a run on me, and there wasn't nothing I could do. It was over with after that.
I understand, man. I tell you, you think you struggle at this track, you ought to see me on this track. I don't even think I can get a tricycle to go around this track, much less a limited late model. What do you think the chances are tonight you can bring home a good, solid finish and possibly maybe get up there and challenge for the win tonight?
Well, if I can stay clean, I think I got a pretty good chance of a top finish. I don't know if we got a car to win it. There's some good drivers in there for sure.
All right, man, we definitely understand. Is there anybody out there, Laurel, that you want to give thanks to? Any sponsors, anybody you want to give a shout out to tonight?
You bet. I want to thank Backwards Hat Productions and NMTS, Brake Shop, Joe Sullivan, Direct Drives, HPP Pedals, WR1 Racing Chassis, and all the fans. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Bradley, you got anything for the man, the myth, the legend that is Laurel Havens?
No, not really anything to add other than good luck tonight, Laurel, as we'll be keeping an eye on you, and we especially appreciate the patronage and support for Backwards Hat Productions.
No problem. My pleasure.
Once again, that was driver of the number 47 car, Havens Nation. That's your man, Laurel Havens.
Oh, anybody else out there in the chat that anybody wants to have us talk to, let us know. We'll try and grab as many driver interviews as we can here before we go over to the main.
We will definitely facilitate your needs as we just start pulling up drivers right now. I tell you what, let's get a talk with Jesse Mason.
Jesse Mason.
Let's get a talk with Jesse Mason. I see him walking down there around, kicking mud on the tires, maybe checking over the car one more time. Jesse Mason, this is Bradley Wilson, the Backwards Hat booth. Do you have a copy, sir?
I do, sir.
Well, Jesse, we thought you had heat race number 2 covered. Not to be, though. Recipient of the slider from Jared Beasley kind of stacked the field up there. Tell us a little bit about that and your night overall as a whole.
Yeah, last few weeks haven't been real great. We're trying to get back to form here, but, you know, slide job. It's part of dirt racing. I lifted to not take Jared out and stacked up behind you, like you said. It's part of it.
Well, we see a brand new wrap on that car. ditching the Miller Lite scheme this year. A little Mopar power under that hood. Definitely a change from what we're used to seeing. As we noted last year, you were in the B-Dubs car most weeks, you know, so definitely a nice little change, the blue and white colors. Is there anybody out there you'd like to give a special shout out or a thanks to?
I want to thank you and Robbie there. You guys do a heck of a job with the broadcast, and of course Michael for putting all this on. So
I do want to ask you before I let you get back down there and possibly talk with the crew, you know, shake the car down a little bit, go out there and turn some laps. We noticed that through practice we saw the bottom. There was a lot of moisture around the bottom, and you know, bottom being the fastest way around the racetrack. And now me and Robbie have kind of sat back in awe at how wide the groove has got out of turns 2 and 4 especially. Do you expect to see it move up in the feature? I know y'all are going to run more laps this week than you have been come feature time. Do you expect to see that groove shift up, or do you think it'll stay good and tacky around the bottom for a good part of it?
well, I know they're going to put some water down, but it didn't take long in practice for it to start moving up. And by the time we got to the heat races, it was pretty up there. So I got a feeling we'll get about halfway in this one, and everybody will be trying to ride that rim again.
Well, good luck, as we'll keep an eye on you moving through the rest of your night, especially. And we look forward to seeing good things from you.
Thanks, guys.
Jesse, before I let you go, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir, Robbie.
Little inside question between me and you. Most people probably won't get this, but I know you will. How happy are you that you don't have to worry about me giving you a 4X anymore?
Oh, you know what? You do a hell of a job in the booth, but I'll still run beside you, Robbie.
I appreciate that, Jesse. Best of luck to you tonight, bud. Look forward to watching that Mopar 17 come to the front.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Once again, that was Jesse Mason, your driver out of Michigan, in the number 17 Mopar car.
Let's see. We got a request for an interview with Jared Beasley.
Let's see if we can't get Beasley up in here. We'll get the other half of the slider in here and see what he has to say, huh?
Yeah. Let's see what Beasley thought about his slider.
Tell you what, Robbie, I may have to have you see if you can make radio contact with him. It looks like... There we go. Jared Beasley, Bradley Wilson, the backwards hat booth. Do you have a copy, sir?
Sir, I got you.
Well, we just talked to Jesse Mason about being the recipient of that slider that you managed to pull off for the heat race number 2 win. Tell us a little bit about that and how your night's going overall.
Night's going all right so far. I thought we could have done a little bit better on qualifying, but we'll take what we can get, you know. And yeah, glad to come out with the win on the second heat race. That's slider, man. I thought that I caused that wreck, to be honest with you. But people in Peak were telling me that it wasn't me, so I was happy. I didn't want them to be mad at me.
Yeah, Jesse said you threw the slider, which is all part of dirt track racing, checked up to get on the binders just a little bit, and then the field stacked up behind him, so definitely a bullet dodge there. Well, man, I talked to Jesse about this track and how it's going to change. Y'all are running, well, like I said, y'all are going to run a lot more. Y'all are going to run a few more laps than you have been come feature time, and we talked with Jesse about how the groove has widened up as the heat races went on, just the heat races and qualifying itself. I know they're going to recondition this track, break the grader and the sheep's foot out, throw a little water down. Do you expect to see the bottom go away rather quickly, or do you think there'll be something down there?
With everybody racing all at once, I'm gonna say we're gonna move up to the top, at least the middle line, within about halfway or so. I'm sure everybody's gonna be on the bottom at first, but I'm gonna see it as we're gonna be in the middle line again, just like it was in the heat races. So
yeah, definitely. So I believe that's where I would put my money, is the top line's probably gonna be very important here. The track is gonna, I would almost expect to see the track become somewhat locked down again. And you know, with that being said, how hard do you think passing is going to become a feature time?
Passing is going to be extremely hard, especially with everybody up on the top side. There's going to be a lot of slide jobs going on. It's going to be super hard to pass people. I believe I've ran on this track multiple times, and passing is probably the hardest on this track here. I mean, it's so difficult.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Well, best of luck. Like I said, that Heat Race 2 win should warrant you a pretty decent starting spot in the A feature. We'll be looking for you there and see if you can't shake things up and maybe recapture some of that first half of the season magic and pull out a win here at Williams Grove.
All right, enough.
Once again, that was Jared Beasley, driver of the number 114. Well, Robbie, I believe driver speculation is probably right. Although they are going to tear this track down, water it up a little bit, recondition it some, I feel like you're going to see the bottom for a few laps, and then I feel like we will probably get back to the high side with a lockdown racetrack.
Yeah, I really think. I'll be honest with you. I don't expect to see him run on the bottom much at all. Personally, I think the guys are pretty much going to know the top's going to be where to be. I think they're going to go to the top early in the feature, which honestly, in my opinion, if they do go to the top early in the feature, I think that's going to make for a good ending of the race. Leave a little moisture down there on the bottom, allow people a chance to get down there and make some moves. But I think everybody knows now that the top side is going to be dominant. So I think a lot of these guys are going to just go ahead and naturally start working up towards the top right off the get-go.
We're right on board. Frank Gonzalez going to turn a few more laps. The driver out of the Plains region. Also got Corey Walters out there running some laps, as well as the number 7 last week's winner, Dustin Swingle.
Tell you what, I'm going to see if I can get a hold of old Russell Brown, see how his night's going. Give me 1 second here.
As Robbie continues to try to establish contact with that driver, I am being told now that they are fixing to break out the grader and the water truck.
Bradley, I got Russell Brown here. Russell Brown, this is Rob Buckner, Backwards Hat Production booth. Good to see you out here again tonight. Last week was your debut in the NMTS series. You had a solid run at Eldora. This week you're here at Williams Grove, and man, you were tenths away from that pole tonight, man. How's your night going so far?
It's going pretty good. Williams Grove's really not the top of my list as far as favorite tracks, but just trying to hold it between the walls.
I hear you on that one, man. I keep telling everybody, me personally, I'm from the South. I live in South Carolina. I keep telling everybody, you know, everybody says the Midwest has the best dirt racers. They say the Northeast has the best dirt racers. But I tell them plain and simple, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, hands down, best dirt racers. You agree with me?
I wouldn't want to start a war on that one. I've been around it a long time, and there's a lot of great racers all over the country. I mean, you can go off and name tons of people from different regions.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. We talked to your teammate, Brian Hacker, earlier. Brian told us that you were instrumental in him being able to figure out this place tonight. What's it like being able to take your real life experience and translate it over to a sim and be able to help somebody else out?
It feels great. I mean, it took me a little while to adjust to it because the sim is still a little bit different than the actual real life stuff. But I mean, a lot of things still come into play. So just take what you learn and adapt to it, and I guess adjust accordingly.
I hear you. Well, we've asked everybody this question, so we'll get your opinion on it as well. We noticed during practice, then during qualifying, the bottom was the dominant part of the track, and then as the heat races progressed, everybody moved up towards the wall. What's your expectations once we get into the actual race? Do you think we're going to be straight to the top, or do you think guys are going to run the bottom for a while before we're moving up?
You know, it's going to be hard to tell. I mean, I'm hoping the racetrack's going to widen out really wide, make it good and racy. Hopefully it'll wind up working out to where there'll be a top and a bottom, so we can, you know, put on a good show.
Well, heck yeah. Bradley, got any questions for Russell before we let him get back?
No, I believe you about got it covered. Just good luck tonight, sir, as you make the charge through the A feature, and we'll be watching for you.
All right. Thank y'all, guys.
Well, Robbie, like I said, I believe that they are going to be tearing down this racetrack here momentarily. Some guys getting a few more laps around it.
Yeah, I think what I heard over the channel there is they're kind of getting the guys a little glimpse of what they're going to be in for when we go back green racing tonight. So letting them get a little taste of what they're going to be doing to the track. They pulled the graders out for a little bit, but they're fixing to do some serious work on them here in a minute.
All right. Well, as we prepare for that, we're going to step away for just a moment here. Don't go anywhere, as we'll be back with a 40-lap A main event coming up shortly. Welcome back. As the track you can see from the overhead has been reconditioned, tore down, graded, sheep-footed, watered, ready to go racing for an exciting 40-lap A feature. Robbie, it's definitely a completely different look for these viewers than what they saw.
Oh yeah, most definitely. These guys now have an option, top or bottom. Bottom is not fully locked in yet, like we were talking about to the drivers. You know, the question is what's going to happen. You know, me personally, I hope it's a split field. I'm hoping half of them go to the top, half of them go to the bottom. That way we can have two good racing groups tonight. But if everybody decides to run that bottom, then it's going to kind of lock it down.
Yeah, you see these drivers right now as they are working that fresh track in just a little bit before we go racing here. There's definitely already rubber building up. See Jesse Mason going to work the high side on the cushion through 3 and 4.
Tell you what, while we're waiting on them to get started, I'm gonna call up a driver that's real big on the pavement side in the NMTS series and see how his night's going in the dirt.
All right, we'll let you do it. I believe I know who you're talking with.
Trevor Harmon, this is Robbie Buckner in the Backwards App production booth. How you doing tonight, bud?
Good, sir. How are you?
Man, I'm good. We were just telling the fans how you're a staple on the asphalt side in the NMTS series, and you're out here tonight playing in the dirt. How's your night going so far?
So far so good. You know, this is definitely a huge difference from the asphalt side of it, and you know, I do race a real street stock in real life, but these things are a whole nother ball game.
I hear you, brother. So I'm gonna ask you the same question that we've asked everybody else tonight. What do you think the odds are that we have the bottom for the entire race, or are we going to end up on the top?
It's definitely going to be on a top feeder track for sure. I've tried to run on that bottom, and I can't get it to hook. But yeah, already in warm-ups, you can start to see this line starting to move up high, so it's definitely going to be a high groove track.
Heck yeah. Well, we'll let you get down there and get ready. But good luck tonight, and hopefully we'll see you up front.
Thank you.
Let's see if we can't get a hold of our fast qualifier Heat 1 winner, Brian Hacker. Bradley, I'm gonna let you interview him here. We'll
All
get
right,
a hold of
sounds good.
There we go.
Brian Hacker, this is Bradley Wilson in the Backwards Hat booth. Do you have a copy, sir?
Sure do.
Well, Quick Time Award winner, Heat Race 1 winner. Definitely on a roll so far tonight. Do you think you have what it takes to pull out the triple, so to speak, and pull off the feature win?
Yeah, I sure hope so. You know, it's the car was fast in qualifying. I was able to get my preferred line in the heat and make my way to the front. I think if I can hold off my teammate Russell, I think I've got a pretty good shot. So we'll see.
Well, we've talked to quite a few drivers who believe that the bottom side, after the track reconditioning, when they broke out the water in the sheep's foot, they believe that bottom side moisture is going to go away quickly as drivers still out there turning some warm-up laps. Do you feel like we're going to see it go top side again?
Yeah, I think it'll eventually go back to the top side. We'll see. I think the bottom line might have a little bit of grip at the beginning and a little bit of drive off, but I think as we progress through the race, the top side will be the way to go again. Seems to dry out pretty quickly.
We've been talking about the top, and we were talking about how the groove widened out, you know, on the outside of coming out of turn 4 and out of turn 2, widened out almost to the wall especially. I want to talk a little bit about the center of the corners. Is the cushion, have you noticed a pretty good cushion build up through there? I know you were in Heat Race 1, and you know there was a lot more wear through 1 and into Heat Race 2 by the end of it. But did you notice a pretty good cushion out there that you could really get a hold of?
It wasn't anything that I think you could really take advantage of. It was starting to build a little bit. I think they, brought the grader out, and we'll have a little more tack on the track to start the feature. So I would be surprised if the cushion really comes to play a factor in the feature. To be honest with you.
Well, I sure appreciate your insight on that. Like I said, good luck tonight banging out the trifecta. As a pole position in a heat race, one win is definitely going to give you a pristine starting spot for this 40-lap A feature. And we'll definitely be looking forward to seeing some good things from you.
Yeah, I hope so too. I appreciate that, and I'd like to be talking with you guys at the end of this race here.
10-4. Well, best of luck to you, driver. We'll let you get back down there with your crew and discuss how you're going to attack this A feature. Once again, that was Brian Hacker, driver of the number 11 out of Illinois. As you see him suit back up now, get Clarl into that number 11 car. Well, Robbie, I think the general consensus is you better get ready to run the high side and be high, wide, and handsome throughout this 40-lap feature.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like the high side is going to be the place to go. But I got an idea, Bradley. You tell me what you think. I think, I always give you who I think's going to win, and you tell me who you think's going to win. How about we let the chat tell us who they think the winner's going to be and who the hard charger's going to be? And if anyone is able to give me the winner and the hard charger, we'll give away $5. What you think?
$5. Look at that. Robbie Buckner going to offer up $5 if you can properly guess. Do they have to guess the winner and the hard charger, or just the winner?
The winner and the hard charger.
If you can properly guess the winner and the hard charger, you're going to get $5 courtesy of Robbie Buckner. As we get a look at this field, give you a good look at who to watch. On the front row, driver out of Illinois, we just spoke with him, Brian Hacker. To his outside, the 114, driver out of Alabama, JB Paints. That is Jared Beasley.
Inside of row 2 is going to be the 00 of Russell Brown Jr. And to his outside will be the number 91 of Dustin Levernight.
One row back, that's where you're going to find Dustin Schwingle out of the Midwest region. To his outside, driver of the number 97, that is David Sutton.
Inside of row 4 will be the number 16 of Tyler Justice. To his outside, to be the 47 of Laurel Havens.
One row back, the driver out of Batesville, Arkansas, the evil outlaw, Michael Redding. To his outside, driver of the number 9, driver out of Georgia, that is Jamie Phillips.
Inside next row will be the number 13 of Ike Raymond Jr. And Ike's outside is going to be the 55 of Michael Crockett.
One row back, that's where you're going to find Trevor Harmon in that number 29 car. And Jesse Mason, tough luck for Jesse in that heat race. He's going to be looking to see if he can't maybe improve on that heat race in this feature. 40 laps getting set to go next time by. Katie bar the door. I have a feeling we're in for one exciting race.
Should be good. So Bradley, who's your pick?
My pick tonight is going to be Brian Hacker. My hard charger is going to have to be... Let's see. My hard charger is going to go to Laurel Havens in the 47.
All right. So Bradley's got the 11 and the 47. I'm going to take the 00 Russell Brown Jr. I think his experience is going to wear out tonight. I think that's going to win out. He's going to be our winner. And for our hard charger, I'm going to go...
Green flag in the air. Trevor Harmon, Robbie's pick for hard chargers. Brian Hacker out to an early lead. Beasley drifts up just a little bit. That's going to allow the 00 of Russell Brown Jr. to work the inside. As we mentioned, a lot of moisture. 2-3 wide. Oh, Levernight. Oh, contact. Levernight keeps it straight.
Good save.
As you see them all, some working the cushion, some working the bottom, getting it while the getting is good as they all file down the backstretch.
Yeah, the
David
right
Sutton going to work under.
Back.
Yeah, mid-pack. David Sutton going to work under Tyler Justice for that spot. Michael Redding's lost a few spots trying to work the bottom.
Contact. Saved it.
Everybody. Oh, I saw Frank Gonzalez get a little loose. Everybody looks like they're going to keep going. Laurel Haven's going to work the high side. Jamie Phillips underneath him in that 9 car. Up front, you have Brian Hacker. He's going to already start to work lap traffic. That is the 29 of Trevor Harmon. Trevor going to go up on the cushion, give Hacker plenty of room to work the bottom.
Man, I don't even know what to call right now. There's action all over this track.
The action indeed, and some good action at that.
I tell you right now, you can already see different lines. You have certain drivers that are hugging the bottom. Russell Brown, I mean, if he gets any closer to those tires, he's going to climb them.
Yeah, you got to watch out for those tires as they can end your night rather quickly. You see them right there in 3 and 4. No inside wall here at Williams Grove. Those tires and the guardrail on the outside.
Dustin Sweagles made his way up to 3rd. Jared Beasley is falling back.
As you look at the battle Dustin Levernight's in right now, we're going to go on board and give you just what this driver is seeing. As you see the mud flying up on the visor, Levernight working the wheel to get under the lap car of Trevor Harmon.
Levernight right now, he's having to fight off the 97 of David Sutton. Sutton, the man on the move right now as he shoots to the bottom under Levernight. Levernight cuts him off, though, as they go through 3 and 4.
We'll go on board with Tyler Justice now a little deeper in the pack. You can see Tyler's got mud all over that visor. Caution flag on the speedway. I believe it's going to be the 24 of Frank Gonzalez. You are correct. We're going to go back and see if we can't get a look at what happened to Frank.
Yeah, it looks like Frank was exiting pit road from damage repair. And the way iRacing is, his rate of speed was so much slower than those around him. It looks like it just called a caution.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. No incident really to report for Frank Gonzalez. At least not an incident that brought the caution out. Up front, you have the driver out of Illinois, Brian Hacker, pacing the field around. Like I said, normally you would see a 30-lap feature. Tonight you see 40. Which I believe is fine with us, Robbie. We definitely don't mind a little longer A feature on dirt night.
No, sir. The more dirt, the better, in my opinion. I tell you, though, get an update right here on your pick and my pick. So far, you're winning on the winner. Your hard charger, Laurel Havens, started 8th. He's running 9th. I picked Russell Brown to win. He's running 2nd. I got Trevor Harmon to be my hard charger. He started 15th, and he's running 15th. So,
well, looks like one of us could maybe pull off the win. Not so much for the hard charger, but still a lot of racing to go. I just wonder how hard it's going to be to pass as the bottom continues to wear away.
It's going to get harder and harder, man. I tell you, though. It seems like it's a little bit split as far as the lines the drivers are using. I think towards the back of the pack, more guys are using the top. Towards the front, more guys are using the bottom. So it's going to be interesting.
We're actually going to go right on board with the number 11 of Brian Hacker as he gets ready to restart this race. We are 12 laps into 100, or 12 laps into 100, 12 laps into a 40-lap feature, 13 this time by. Hacker on the loud pedal out of turn number 4. Green flag in the air.
Hacker got a good start along with Swigel. Swiegel's going to look to take second away from Brown. Brown battles back on the outside hard as they come out of turn 2. Drag race down the backstretch.
2 and 3 wide down the backstretch. Caution is out.
Looks like the Eagle Outlaw was involved.
That's what I'm seeing, as you see heavy damage on the number 2 car of Michael Redding. Go back and see if we can't get a look at this courtesy of your Backwards Hat Productions replay. Well, I'm being told that the camera crew did not catch that one. They simply caught the melee. They were too busy looking at a battle up front, so we do apologize. No coverage, but we can tell you that Corey Walters and the number 2 of Michael Redding both involved.
I tell you what's going to be interesting to me, Bradley, here on this next restart is Russell Brown didn't get as good of a jump as I expected him to get that last time. It allowed Dustin Swingle to almost get around him, so I'm kind of curious if Russell's going to be more aggressive on this next restart.
Yeah, I definitely feel like you've got to be aggressive early, as there's still a bottom groove to lie on. But like I said, as this race goes on, and as it's been predicted by just about every driver we've talked to, the top side is going to be dominant. I have a feeling, as you can start to see it already start to work up, that groove's going to work higher and higher. You'll notice all that loose dirt you see up at the top of the corners will disappear more and more as it gets knocked up against the wall.
Yeah, most definitely.
Well, here we go, Robbie. 25 laps to go this time by. Pace truck's in. Hacker's going to fire off a turn number 4. Green flag in the air. We're back underway.
Better start this time for Brown in second place. Although Schwegel got a great start as well. But definitely you can see that momentum on that high side right now is really paying off for Russell as he's able to fight off Schwegel as they head down the backstretch into turn 3.
A few cars get crossed up. I believe that was Ike Raymond in the 13. Looked like he got crossed up there. Definitely some congestion going on. Right now you've got teammates Jared Beasley and Tyler Justice. Tyler going to go way upstairs up on the cushion. Going to allow a few cars to get by him.
Yeah, Schwegel has prevailed over Brown on the bottom side, but Brown isn't giving up on the high side. I tell you, we are 2 by 2 by 3. Oh, big contact between Beasley.
Contact.
Tyler.
Big wreck on the front stretch. Laurel Havens up on his lid. Definitely not something when Havens Nation's looking to see. As we caught it live, we'll actually just rewind it from here and take a look at it. Go on board, you see Beasley get into Levernight just a little bit. Tyler Justice with nowhere to go as he gets turned around, and Laurel Havens up on his roof. I tell you what, Robbie, we did it the other night.
Oh, take your Dramamine.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's give the dirt fans a little taste of what it's like to ride around in one of these cars and find this kind of up and over for Laurel Havens.
Oof.
Definitely a tough break. Havens continues to sit on pit road. Crew already going to work on the number 47 Backwards Hat Productions car. I want to take this quick caution break to remind you that not only can you watch these races now live with us on our Facebook page at Backwards Hat Productions, we also have YouTube. We also have a YouTube channel now that all these races getting live streamed to. You can go check that out, Backwards Hat Productions TV. See all the clarity that YouTube has to offer.
Yes, sir.
Well, cross flags halfway. They're going to happen under caution with Brian Hacker still at the point taking command of this race.
Yeah, right now Brian Hacker is the guy in the...
If you pick Jamie Phillips to be your hard charger of the night right now, he is up from 10th to 6th. Definitely the biggest mover in the field so far in that number 9 car.
Yeah, I tell you, man. It's been a good race so far. These guys are really getting after it. But be interesting now to see how Schwegel does on the outside of Hacker. You know, Russell Brown on the outside wasn't able to get the jump that he wanted. So let's see how Schwegel does. Schwegel, a lot more aggressive in my opinion. He looks like he's trying to outrun Hacker already.
Green flag in the air. We're back underway. A little congestion. Some checkups as the leader got going. You're going to see Jamie Phillips go by there in that 9 car. Gaggle of cars through 1 and 2, high, low, and in the middle. So far, the bottom group seems to have held up just a little bit. As you take a look right now, your leader, Brian Hacker, going to be challenged here shortly by Dustin Swingle. Behind him, Russell Brown Jr. and David Sutton in the 97 car. Oh!
Contact between Brown and Sutton. Sutton saves it.
Contact, everybody keeps it going straight. I saw Tyler Justice back there. As we went through 1 and 2, 8 tires better than 4. He kind of leaned on Trevor Harmon or the 55 just a little bit. No harm, no foul, though. This is dirt track racing, baby.
Oh, yeah. You got to rub on it a little bit in the dirt car. You got to expect a little bit of contact. These cars, as they go into the corner, they're going to slide a little bit. They're going to rub on each other. But, you know, no harm, no foul as we move forward. But I tell you, Dustin Swigel, last week's winner, is starting to put the pressure on our leader, Brian Hacker, as they go down into turn number 1.
As you see the battle from the roof of Swingle's car, using that diamond to try to get a run on Hacker. Off the back there. Oh, Sutton gets a little crossed up by Beasley. Beasley gets turned around by Levernite off of turn 4. Caution will fly. Oh, and Levernite gets collected with Harmon. Car is starting to try to scatter down the front stretch. A bit of commotion going on. We'll go back and take a look at that as we caught it live here. You're going to see Beasley get into Sutton. Beasley get checked up. Levernite just trying to get going again. He gets the back end jacked up. A few other cars in the mix.
Oh. Looks like when Levernite got it saved and started getting forward, he kind of, his momentum was nowhere near the same speed as Tyler Justice. Tyler got in the back of Dustin, or Justin Levernite kind of turned him down.
Oh, yeah, I see that there. Actually, I tell you what. Let's go on board with the driver of the 29. You'll see what he saw. A lot of mud on that shield, a lot of dust flying. Harmon kind of working the cushion through 3 and 4. Contact being made right there. Oh, I don't believe it was Harmon. Yeah, somebody actually got, it was Tyler Justice, I believe, that got into the back of Levernite.
Yep, turned him down in front of.
Yeah. Once again, there. No fault to Tyler Justice there. That's just product of one car being off pace and Tyler really having nowhere to go.
Yeah, we've discussed it before. You know, everybody say, "Well, why don't you hit the brakes, slow down, so you don't hit them?"
You try to hit the brakes on a dirt car doing 100+ miles an hour, and tell me how that works out for you. But I tell you, who's got it all working for him right now? That's your leader, Brian Hacker, who's led flag to flag right now.
Yeah,
we'll pull up a little driver stat on him as we get going green here. Fastest lap of the night for this driver coming on lap 3 with a 21.627. Green flag back in the air. He wastes no time getting on the loud pedal as we are back to racing.
Swingle and Brown going to battle as they go down into turn 1 and 2. Oh, Russell's able to clear Swiggle as they go down the backstretch.
Caution on the racetrack again. I believe the 12 car's going to be slow off of turn number 2. Go back and see if we can't find out just what happened to Corey Walters. Looks like we actually don't have the footage of it. The battle for the lead, as we talked about, Swiggle trying to chase down Russell Brown.
I just seen in the chat, Jerry Campbell. I don't think he was a fan of the gyro cam there when we showed Haven's Haven's wreck.
Well, I'm telling you, if you don't like that one, definitely don't go back and rewatch the truck race from Monday night, because we had quite a few rollovers there. And I believe I had to send out some free prescriptions of Dramamine, and you know, we may need to flash up a viewer discretion the next time we start showing flips like that, because they were wild.
Yeah, old Anthony C. the other night, I believe he barrel rode 17 times on the front stretch.
Pace truck continues to pace around. We're going to get a look off of it right now at Dustin Swiggle running second, and race leader Brian Hacker, who has led flag to flag so far. We talked about starting positions being pristine right now. Biggest mover in the field's Jamie Phillips, as he continues to work from 10th up to 5th now.
Actually, I think Trevor Harmon's got him. Trevor started 15th. He's up to 7th.
Well, excuse my math there. Congratulations, Robbie, on the correct call.
That's the only thing I got correct out of my pick so far is the hard charger.
Yeah, well, we're going to go ahead and give that one to you right now. Pay lights off on the pace truck. We are going to get ready to get set to go green next time by. You see it from the flag stand. We'll actually hang right here with your flagman. Get you a good look at what he sees around this racetrack.
See what he's going to see.
7 to go this time by. Green flag in the air. We're underway. Hacker going to scoot to the top, try to block the move of Russell Brown. David Sutton gets into Russell Brown just a little bit into 1 and 2. Everybody fights for position. Swingle going to work the bottom now. Look to the bottom side of Brown this time. Jamie Phillips. Oh, Beasley. Beasley goes around in 3 and 4. I believe
you got. I could be mistaken, but I want to say there was contact between the 13 and the 114.
As we watch it this time, we'll take a look. Yep, looks like the evil outlaw of Michael Redding and the 13 car of Ike Raymond Jr. doing battle off into the corner. Raymond gets off in there a little hot. We'll actually take a look at it off the roof of the 13 car. Everybody starts to file down the backstretch. There it was, just a little bit of contact with a 114 sends the driver from Alabama, Jared Beasley, around. Tough break for Beasley. Started outside the front row. As they continue to work around under caution, 4 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, the next flag, that'll pretty much be the deciding factor. Either we get a checkers or a yellow.
1 to green, lights off on the pace truck. I said it before, Katie, bar the door. I have a feeling we're fixing to be in for a shootout. Next flag, as Robbie indicated, will end it. Can Hacker hold on? Can he hold off the charge from Russell Brown Jr.? Will Dustin Swingle come up from 3rd and be the spoiler? Maybe still 2 in a row. David Sutton, he's moved up from 6th to 4th, so a two position jump for that driver. And then you've got Mr. Excitement sitting back there on row 3 just trying to wait and loom. Green flag in the air. Hacker back on the loud pedal, going to scoop the top.
Yeah, Hacker got another good jump again.
Hacker gets a jump. The field clean through 1 and 2. Hacker's got to hold him off for 2 laps this time by. Swingle going to work the bottom. Sutton to the outside. Tyler Justice making a run on the bottom now. Levernight was in the wall in 3 and 4.
2 to go.
2 laps to go. Your battle's right around this man right here. Swingle going to lose a spot or 2 on the bottom there. Going to allow the number 97 of David Sutton. Swingle going to fight back on the bottom now. Brian Hacker well out in front of the field. Your battles for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Everybody running the bottom. Jamie Phillips going to try to dig the top around Trevor Harmon, who is your hard charger of the night so far. Tyler Justice going to slide it to the bottom. Try to pick up a position not to be. He's going to come home in the 5th position. As that man right there holds on, leads it flag to flag out of Illinois' Brian Hacker.
Good win.
Look at that, Robbie. I don't even think he used a tear off.
No, he had no need to use a tear off tonight. I don't think there's a scratch on that car. Nobody got close enough to actually put a scratch on it.
Once again, your top 3, Brian Hacker, the driver out of Illinois, is picking up the win. Russell Brown Jr. is going to finish 2nd out of Georgia. And the driver coming home in 3rd out of the Northwest region, David Sutton.
All right, well, we'll get a hold of old David Sutton here and see how his night went. David Sutton is Robbie Buckner in the Backwards Hat production booth. Congratulations on the top 3 finish, bud. Tell us about your night.
Oh, I mean, qualifying, I really couldn't find much at all. Heat race-wise, I don't remember where I finished. I think I finished 3rd. But even then, that wasn't really very good. So I started 6th and just slowly worked my way up. Picked up, car here and there. And at the end, really, really raced hard for 3rd. And it was really fun, really clean. And I'm glad to be 3rd.
Well, heck yeah, brother. You had an awesome battle there in the closing laps with Dustin Swingle. I tell you, man, the track kind of didn't do what we thought it was going to do. We all thought it was going to end up being top dominant, from what the heat races and all it was. It seemed like whatever work they done to the track in between the heat races and the feature work, the bottom line seemed to be dominant tonight. Is that what the feeling you got from behind the wheel?
Yeah, I'd say about 10 to go. It started to be middle to high. You started seeing a lot of the bottom go away on entry, so you were a little loose. You had to really baby it, and then you were able to kind of get a run out of the corner, but the momentum was taken over, so you kind of had to move up to be fast.
Well, heck yeah, man. Is anybody out there, any sponsors, anybody you want to thank tonight?
I mean, I just want to thank everybody here for putting this on. I have a good time, and I'm glad I can get a decent finish for once. I've had some bad luck the last 2 weeks after I took the W at Lanier, so I'm trying to slowly climb my way back up and keep consistent top 3, top 5s.
Well, most definitely, man. We don't expect to see you long before you're in victory lane again. Again, Bradley, that was your 3rd place finisher tonight, Mr. David Sutton in the 97. Again, David, congratulations. Go celebrate with your team, bud.
Thanks. You guys have a good one.
All righty. Let's see. Russell Brown Jr. Bradley, I think I'm going to give you the pleasure of talking to Mr. Brown.
Russell Brown Jr., this is Bradley Wilson in the Backwards Hat booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, good finish for you there, bringing her home P2. Not a win, but definitely can't hate on a P2. You ran behind Brian Hacker most of the night there. We saw some cautions flying out just when we thought you were going to get some momentum to maybe make a challenge for the lead. Give us a little rundown of how the A feature went for you.
I think everything went pretty well. I kind of wish that we could have had some long runs, get racing really good. A couple cautions, and you just have to play your cards right, and I guess not get too excited. I fell back to third, and just try to keep my head on my shoulders, keep it between the walls, and try to follow Brian.
Well, you definitely did a good job of that, bringing that 00 car home almost without a scratch, which is kind of a rare thing for the Williams Grove Speedway. We all talked about pre-race how we thought this track was going to go high side dominant, but the Williams Grove crew did a good job of keeping some moisture on the bottom. Do you feel like, there was an advantage to be had top or bottom, or was it just kind of neutral?
No, I mean, right there towards the end, the top side got to be where you could keep the momentum up. And that's where I made my mistake at. I figured that on that first caution, I chose, being on the outside, I thought I'd be all right. And it was still, bottom side was still pretty good. But it wound up coming around, and, just have to play your cards right and hit your lines just right to make the top side work versus the bottom side.
Well, congratulations on being smooth all night, coming home a strong P2. Before we let you go back with your team and regroup there and debrief, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I mean, just, Brian, all my teammates, Brian did a great job. I guess I might have taught him a little too well. Yeah, I mean, Genesis Shocks, Russell Brown Race Cars, George 811. I mean, all them guys, they're with me on my real car, and I love doing this at night when I'm not working on my stuff, getting ready to go.
Well, hats off to all those guys, and a good team finish, 1-2 there. We'll let you get back with your team, but once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
That once again was Russell Brown Jr., the driver out of Georgia, going to come home P2 tonight.
All right, let's get our winner up here. Let's have a good celebration down in Victory Lane. Brian Hacker, the balloons and confetti and the champagne and all the fun stuff has fallen. You're standing in Victory Lane, brother. How's it feel?
Feels pretty good tonight. I think we were the car to beat, and I've had some tough luck in this series for the past few weeks, so it feels pretty good to put it all together.
Yeah, you most definitely put it together tonight, man. We don't think you ever even had to use a tear off tonight. You were so far out ahead of the field. I tell you though, man, it looked like you kind of could go wherever you wanted to and dictate the pace. And man, one thing I noticed, your restarts, man, it was like you were shot out of a cannon there. What was the secret for you on those restarts?
Well, I'm assuming some of these guys are going to be listening to broadcast, so I'll just tell you that it's something that I've learned along the way. But no, it's I ultimately I wanted to see Russell get up to second, so I was happy to see him to get up to second. I know some of those restarts were starting to get a little dicey behind me, so my goal was just to stay in front of the mess. There were quite a few cautions tonight, so to stay out front.
Well, I hear you, brother. I tell you, we talked prior to the race with you about how, we were wondering how the track was going to go. Was it going to be a top side dominant track, bottom side dominant track? But it seemed there, at least for the first 30 laps there, it was pretty much all on the bottom. Do you feel like the cautions maybe hindered the track spreading out, or was it just that good of a job by the track crew to get the bottom that tacky for y'all tonight?
I think it was a combination of both. Definitely the first few laps there, I was trying to ride the bottom because it definitely had more drive off, but I ended up moving up, a few lanes off the bottom as the race progressed, and I think the track seemed pretty racy. I mean, you could get around on the bottom, you could hold your own on the top, so it was pretty decent all the way around. I preferred the top, but that was just me.
I hear you, man. Well, is there anybody you want to thank tonight for this victory? Before we let you go celebrate with your crew, I know Russell Brown, teammate, finished second, but anybody out there you want to thank?
Yeah, pretty cool to see us finish 1-2. We might get a few more of our guys in here to run these Wednesday night shows, so we'll see. We're trying to convince a few of them. I'm just an asphalt guy that pretends like I know what I'm doing. I'm dirt. I really don't know what I'm doing, but yeah. Overall, my team, the Roughnecks, they help out a lot, and some of the sponsors on the side of the car, Midwest Power Source, our insurance options, and then Russell Brown Race Cars out of Georgia. So. I'd like to thank those guys, and then if there's anyone still watching, I know I've got some friends and family watching the broadcast. If they're still awake, thanks for sticking it out, and thanks to Michael for putting this thing on, and thanks for you guys showing up every week and doing a great job in the booth.
Hey, well, man, it's our pleasure when guys like you come out here and put on the show like you did tonight. I will say this much, though. I don't think Russell's going to help you much more. You keep beating him week in, week out.
I think he's sandbagging. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. He's really good at Charlotte, and that's on the schedule for next week. So if I can beat him there, then I might be onto something. But I'll be hard pressed to get around him next week.
Well, I hear you, brother. Congratulations again on a hard fought win, and tell your fans out there in the chat, man, make some noise for you so we know you're out there each week. But congratulations again, and go enjoy this one, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We got to get more fans out there. Havens Nation pretty much dominates every week, so we'll generate some more fans as we go.
You're gonna have to, and then we're gonna have to come up with a name for your group because Havens Nation's pretty much dominated. So, gotta get the Brian Hacker fans out there making some more noise for you, man.
I'll see what I can do.
All right, man. Have a good night, Brian.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Once again, that was race winner out of Illinois, Brian Hacker. Well, as you get a great look, one final shot from the high above in the sky over this beautiful countryside at Williams Grove Speedway. You get a look some of the sights around this racetrack. Get a good look at the corners and just how much rubber they took on tonight throughout this 40-lap feature event. Robbie, I feel like overall we saw a pretty racy track there, like most of the drivers alluded to. There was a top and a bottom groove throughout this 40-lap A main that made for a lot of exciting racing.
Yeah, I think the racing tonight was pretty good. Personally, I don't think you could ask for more, except for maybe more laps. Me personally, I'm kind of stingy. I wouldn't mind 100, 150, 200 lap dirt race, but I'm old school dirt like that. I love my dirt racing. I love the late models. But the cool part is we're right back here again tomorrow night at Williams Grove with the street stock. So look forward to it, man.
Yeah, definitely. So as you mentioned, the Ram Series Street Stock Division is going to wrap up our weekly coverage here at Backwards Hat Productions with their Street Stock Series right back here at the Grove tomorrow night. We'll be looking forward to that. As Robbie likes to say, that's kind of your blue-collar dirt division.
Yeah, man. That's what your mechanic down the street's got sitting in the corner of his garage. The one that makes all the noise in the middle of the night, and you want to go down there and tell him to shut up. But that's because that's the only time he gets to work on his stuff because he's working on yours all day. But definitely looking forward to it.
Well, once again, we want to give a quick shout-out to all of the sponsors here at Backwards Hat Productions. SimSpec PC Towers, Thompson Seed and Garden out of Muskogee, Oklahoma. If you're looking to update those flower beds, maybe do some lawn work around there, definitely in the Muskogee area, definitely give our friends at Thompson a call. Ram Designs, Kyle Ramsey and the crew at Ram Designs putting out some of the slickest cars, both asphalt and dirt. If you're looking for that new wrap, give him a look at Facebook. He'll definitely be able to facilitate your needs. NASCAR Diecast fans, check them out on Facebook and Twitter. Like I said, for all of your up-to-date release dates, promo codes, everything in the diecast world, be sure to check out our good friends at NASCAR Diecast fans. And last but not least, 5-star drafting. Our plans outrank theirs. Anytime if you may be in the Florida area looking to get some plans drawn up, commercial, residential, whatever it may be, they can facilitate all your needs over there at 5-Star Drafting. Well, this will conclude our coverage of the NMNTS Dirt Night from Williams Grove. For Robbie Buckner, I'm Bradley Wilson. This is Backwards Hat Productions. You all have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for the Ram Series.